What's up, guys? It's Brian from Hashware Hub. It's about 10 after 10 p.m. Eastern Time, January 28th, 2018, and we're coming to you with another trading video. I think this is going to be the last for tonight. This is going to be on Dash. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, upvote, re-steam if you guys are on DTube and or Steam it, and if you're not, get on it. Links are down below. Also, our Facebook trading team link is down below too. There's no cost to sign up for that or anything else. There's a lot of information being passed back and forth between people, a lot of great information, so I definitely would highly recommend that, to say the least. So Dash here, I basically did zero preparation for this video, so I may stumble through it, and my apologies. But the reason why I jumped so quickly to go ahead and do this video is because of the fact that it looks like we're at a major decision point with regards to Dash. One thing I did do first is I actually drew this red line. So sometimes what is really good with charts is kind of just deleting all the lines and putting all the lines back on here. Not to say that I did that right here, but seeing it with fresh eyes, you sometimes see something that you had not seen before. And what I noticed is that there's kind of like this mean line coming right through. Mean, I mean like an average line, and meaning this is the top of the channel and this is like the bottom of the channel and this is like the average. And it really just hit this thing like a million times, and here as well. So I'm thinking possibly this could be a line of support if the market is to come down here. Now, I think last when we had spoke, we were talking about something going on here. I forgot exactly where we were, but there's like a triangle within a triangle, and this pattern is being exhibited on a few different coins. And this one here, you have the top of the purple line, and you have this green line, obviously, which is the larger triangle. And this purple line is basically drawn from the top here. Here, it pretty much hits right here, and then it goes through right here. So what we were looking at is possibly that there's a triangle kind of within a triangle because of the fact that we see also the volume declining. And what we counted was an A, B, C, D, and an E. And the E probably hit somewhere over here. Okay, but what it actually did is actually went through. I'm just going to move it over so we can actually see what's going on. It actually went through and now it hit the green line. Now let's pull this down to a 1 hour chart. Okay, so, you know, actually pretty interesting stuff. Really interesting stuff. What I'm seeing here is, so here, and this is another type of pattern that we see in a lot of different coins. This bearish flag, and you know, I kind of see it again. You know, here, I see another bearish flag. You know, right here. You know, or you can almost look at this as being a triangle, right? I mean, kind of either way. You can make an argument kind of either way. But I'm going to delete it because I've been getting hate mail for being so messy. So, yeah, so what do we have? We have this support line right here. We'll call it at $776. And it kind of rips through here as the bottom here. It's the top over here. The bottom's over here. Kind of comes right through the middle of this triangle. And it's pretty much where we are sitting right now. Pretty much where we're sitting right now. And so Dash is at a decision point. It's at a point of, sometimes some people would call indecision, but I think it's a point of decision. So it needs to go up, or it needs to go down, or it needs to go sideways. But I don't think sideways is really in the cards for Dash right now. There may be a spike up and then it's going to kind of go sideways, or maybe there may be a spike down and it's going to come sideways. My bet is to say that it's going to go down. And obviously all this has to do with regards to what's going on with Bitcoin. However, what I will say is that Bitcoin kind of came down. Oh, it's coming down even more than the last I looked at it. Bitcoin got rejected up here by this 12,050 level approximately, and now it's coming down. And it's obviously hitting some sort of support line right here. This is the blue support line that we had drawn. So totally look at our Bitcoin videos. I think they're awesome. So you can see there's actually some congestion right here on an hourly basis. And then maybe it may come down and hit this level right here, the 11,150. So Dash kind of came down. Excuse me, Bitcoin came down, but Dash, you know, all right, it came down, but I don't think it's kind of relatively. I don't think it's the same amount. Also, I think this is like a big bearish flag. Right, I think this is another big bearish flag that we possibly can have. You know, the bottom is kind of this line right here. This line was actually not drawn for a bearish flag purpose, but you can almost see it with that line. But this line here was actually drawn from this bottom here and this bottom here. And then look what we had. Okay. So let's delete this. And yeah, it has some sort of decision point. So there is support not only on this diagonal purple line, but also on this horizontal purple line at, call it $775. My bet is this. My bet is that this pierces through. All right, that's my bet. And you know, and you can even look. This is something else I didn't mention last time, but you know, you can even look as this being a triangle. Okay, so what we may have is the market may continue to go ahead and kind of go sideways here, and then it may pierce up, and then it may come back down again. So I don't want you guys to get fooled that Dash is going to continue running. It very well may, but you need other type of confirmation than just that. So I don't want you to be fooled by that. So it's one of the reasons why I'm also, you know, bringing this up. So I'd imagine that maybe there may be a little peak up, and then we're going to come down. But my bet would be is that it's actually just going to come down. There are some resistance levels right here, depending on, you know, where this comes down to. There's another resistance level right here, and obviously one here too. So there's a whole bunch of things going on. There's this bottom resistance level, horizontal resistance level. I'll talk about it. It's at a level of 600. So the first one we have is about 775. The last one is about 600, and there are others between there, but this is all on a you know, diagonal basis. So depending on where we are in time, that value can change pretty drastically. The slope of this is pretty significant. Now I can look at this and say, you know, there's a good chance that this may be a huge bullish flag, or it may also be a triangle. So it's difficult to tell which one it is right now. But again, my bet is that it's going to fall off. What is the QQE indicator saying? We just brought this up on our last video, and I think we're going to be talking more and more about it as time goes on, because people are really hot and heavy over MACD, and I'm just not a fan of MACD. So what does the QQE indicator look like right now? The mustard line is the lead, and the red is the follow, and the QQE indicator has basically crossed over to the downside right here. So that's saying bearish. It got bullish right along here. Right along here. So not a bad call, QQE indicator. So yeah, so it's bearish right now. We don't really trade exclusively on that, so I would, you know, say the same thing. You know, I just tell you guys what we do. Take it or leave it. You may love it, you may not. So where could things possibly be? Where are we in a general larger scheme of things? Let's start counting, Mr. Elliott. So this would be an A, this would be a B, this would be a C. Now I'm going on this diagonal right here, okay? Not on the channel. C, this possibly could be a D, all right? And then again, I'm going on this diagonal right here, this purple diagonal, and then this would be some sort of an E somewhere around here. Okay, I think that's kind of my primary count of what's going on. There's a whole bunch of other types of patterns this could be, but I am expressing the sentiment, or expressing the results of the patterns that this would be through my analysis that I'm showing you here. And like I said in other videos before, I have to make a video that goes over these other patterns. But anyway, it's basically the end result is pretty much the same thing. So where could E possibly end up? E could possibly end up somewhere around this 523 level. Okay. You know, worse off, I think we could be somewhere around this $400 level. Let's look at something on a 4-hour basis real quick. Where are we? Where are we? You know, let's do an Elliott wave on this thing. I've actually not done an Elliott wave on this thing. Not an Elliott wave, I'm sorry. Fibonacci retracement. I've done tons of Elliott waves on this. Where are we? Wow, would you look at this? Okay, cool. Really cool stuff. The 618, 61.8% line is literally at this bottom right here. It's, let's call it, you know, approximately 600. You know, it's a little bit more, about 615. So let's call it about 600. That's where our line was drawn here. Even the lower line is like this 78% is much lower. This is on the, let's call it 348. It's actually 347. It's right here. So, but our purple line that we drew was about 400. So Fibonacci is actually doing a pretty good job. The 50% is uncannily similar to the purple line that we drew. The purple line that we drew here, the 775, is slightly below the 50% line, and that 50% line is about 800. So we're only about 25 off. So Fibonacci is doing pretty well here. Fibonacci is actually right at the tops right here. And it's kind of, remember that mean I was talking about, the average of kind of this price action right here? It's right here. I mean, it looks really great. What else? Mr. Fibonacci. 38.2%. 38.2% looks really good too. This is kind of the bottom of all this kind of sideways action, kind of the average of the bottom. That's about 986. Yeah, about 986. 23.6. Again, this is actually really good. When the market tried to rally up, it rallied up to this point right here. A second time, a third time. This point's about called 1,212. 1,216 exactly is the exact amount. So thank you, Mr. Fibonacci. Again, another thank you. So Fibonacci is actually working really well on Dash. So we're going to try to continue to do that, and probably should have done that sooner. So our fault there. So anyway, we're going to leave it there for right now. Any questions? Let me know. Looks like Chug King here has a comment. So, all right, Chug King. Let us know, and happy trading. Speak to you soon. Thanks.